What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. I feel like an idiot because I purchased what I thought was a solution to my problems. So my Mini has a wheel speed sensor problem on the passenger front of the car, and it's not exactly working. So I'm getting a light on the inside. I put my scanner up to it and it told me that it was this area. So I was like, okay, whatever. I put it all back together. When I put the car together, I thought it was just a faulty sensor when I replaced the bearings and I did all that stuff. It was not that. So here's a new part for it. Would have been great, would have solved my problems. But take a look at how stupid I am. So in this video, we're gonna be addressing 3 different problems that I'm having. So the first one is found in here, the wheel well area. So you can see all these wires that I've got going on back here. You can see that only because the fender liner is not installed on the car. So with that being said, the wheel speed sensor on the passenger front is giving me a problem. So I went over here, jacked the car up, and can you guys tell me what the issue is? So this little blue connector down here should be connected to up there. So this one here is going from the actual wheel speed sensor. So this is attached to the hub. This one here is attached to the main part, so the body of the car. All I have to do is plug this in and it will work. Problem solved. Really nice, cheap fix. Mount that back up. And I've got to fix this little wiring part down here. So when I was driving, my old tires that had grooves to them, they snagged one of the connectors that's going to the AC down up front. And what happened is it actually yanked the entire sensor, so like the entire wiring harness, off of the car. So see this? This is the AC compressor clutch switch. So there's a power and ground going to it, and there should be a wire on this side that's gonna be able to control this. It got yanked off, so I need to fix that when that part comes in. So that's one problem solved. On to the next one. So yesterday I was driving the Mini. I took the car out for a drive with the new slicks that are on it. So it was driving fine. It was doing everything the way it's supposed to. I put my foot into a little bit, started to make boost, the high pressure fuel pump. The problem with that is now solved. It's driving awesome. I can't wait to actually beat on the car more. Because I started beating on the car a little bit more, I started to make a little bit more and more boost. Now that's where this problem happened. So when I was driving, I noticed it was pulling hard and then I'm like, oh boy, that doesn't sound good. But I figured because the car isn't now making the same power it was, I have a boost leak. So the only place that I could actually have a boost leak is where the air is pressurized after the turbocharger. So everything that you're seeing here, so that black connector, this pipe, this is all under regular atmospheric pressure. So once that air goes into the turbo, it's then pressurized and comes out of the turbo. Everything that's red, so the pipe that goes from the turbocharger to the bottom side of the intercooler, through the intercooler, up the other pipe, and it comes up through here, through that black piece. So that is all gonna be pressurized. There's another clamp right here. There's a clamp there. This is all pressurized and it goes all the way to the intake manifold that's found underneath the intake box right here. So all of that is pressurized. Now with that being said, that means that if I have a boost leak, either one of the tubes is broken or one of these clamps came loose. So I jacked the car up in the air and did a little bit of digging. So I started at the turbocharger and made my way to the intake manifold. So this guy here was tight. That wasn't coming out. So if we follow that tube down, we'll be able to see that the intercooler pipe right here, the one that goes to the intercooler, it's literally come completely off. So I was just dangling on it and pulling on it and you can see that it's off completely. And I'm really happy that the connector, like the little clamp, didn't actually fly off while we were driving. So it was still making like a little bit of boost, but it wasn't anywhere near as much boost as it was before. So it just means that I need to take this off, loosen this, and then tighten that up. With the gear clamp now tight, it should be able to hold up all the boost that I'm going to be able to be feeding it. Now, the only issue that I have is that I don't know exactly how tight I should be tightening that because there is no torque spec and I don't want to break my intercooler. So that's on there pretty good. Fingers crossed it won't blow off again. So this is actually looking out to be a pretty good day. So 2 out of the 3 problems now are solved. We can put the Mini down on the ground because that is now fixed. Now, to solve problem number 3, we actually need to go inside the car. So the third issue that I'm having has to do with these seats. So if you guys remember from a previous video, I changed out my John Cooper Works lounge seats for these Mini Cooper S seats. Now technically this is considered a downgrade, but the one thing that I do like about these seats that the JCWs don't have is a lot of bolstering. So take a look at how much there is where the stock JCW ones did not. So these definitely hug me a lot better than the old ones. Now, the issue that I'm having has to do with the airbags that are found inside of them. So when I plug these things into the car, everything connected up fine. But when I'm driving, I have up here on the dash an airbag light. So I'm gonna move the seats forward and backwards just to make sure that the connectors are okay. If I can't see anything, I'm gonna take the seats out, at least the driver's side one, because that's where I'm getting the airbag code. And I'm hoping to find a solution for that. If it's pretty much the same thing as my wheel speed sensor from the front corner, this is gonna be a really nice day because I'm gonna be solving 3 problems without having to spend a single dime. So from the front of the seat, you can see that there's this yellow connector. So this wiring harness is attached to the body of the car, and there's 3 different connectors that attach on the back side, which have to do with the seat belt, they have to do with the airbag, and the other one, I believe is weight sensor? Heated seats. So that's the 3 controls there. They all go into that part, but I'm getting an airbag light. So let's maybe move the seat forward to see if we can see anything. So from the looks of it, we're gonna have to take the seats out to see if we can get access to those cables. So the battery is disconnected. This is just to prevent any more airbag lights to come on. But coming over here, we'll be using this OTC Torx kit. It has pretty much everything Torx related, and it also has the E-sockets in this kit. I've been using this thing for a while now. If you guys have a German car, this thing is a no-brainer. So I'm gonna be using the T40 bit right here, and I'm gonna be using it on this impact gun for the front bolts, and I'm gonna be using it on the ratchet for the rear bolts. So it's a little bit tricky to get access to, but once you take all 4 of them out, the seat should be able to lift up or move it forward, and we're gonna be able to get access to those wires that are in there. So with the seat now disconnected, you can have access now to these connectors. And I believe this guy here is the issue that we're having. So this isn't fully plugged in, and I don't know why it's backed out, but hopefully just pushing it down like that will solve that problem. Maybe I'll zip tie all this together just to prevent it from coming out, but that should do it. So we're now inside the Mini, and we're gonna need to turn on the car, get the computers going, and we're gonna probably have to clear it, all the codes that we had on the car before we can actually get going. So if you probably did leave this car and let it actually run and drive, the lights would turn off, but we're gonna save a step. So car on, and I'm gonna be using my little Bluetooth module with my computer scanner. Just plug this here into the OBD2 connector down below. And then once that's plugged in, we can go into diagnostics, and we can take a look at literally every single part in this car. So we're gonna have to go to Mini. Yes, disclaimer, we're gonna have to go through all this. Yes, I agree. So we're gonna have to read through here, read the VIN. It's gonna be able to pick it up through the OBD2 sensor. We're gonna be able to find pretty much every single monitor on the car, and we're gonna be able to see if there's any problems and any fault codes that are either stored, pending, or permanent. So yes, that's our VIN. So this is totally Bluetooth. There's no cords, no nothing connecting up to this. Now there's a little dongle thing on the back, and it even comes with like a little briefcase that you can store the scanner in. But once it's ready, after it's done doing all the checks, so we're gonna go to diagnostics, auto scan. So if you want to pick a certain one, you would have clicked that previous option, the second one, but it's gonna go through all of this stuff and let us know if there's anything wrong with it. Now, those numbers up top didn't exactly look too good, but we did have, you know, probably a couple codes because it was misfiring. We had some other problems because we had the boost leak. So these are the check engine light problems. This is the ABS problems. This is the airbag system, instrument cluster, and this pretty much just goes through every single monitor in the car. So we're gonna do a quick erase, and it's gonna go through all of them and just erase all the faults that are in the car. Now, fingers crossed. Oh, that looks good. No faults. That looks awesome. So that wheel speed sensor problem was giving me probably 5 codes. And that wheel speed sensor was actually relaying information to multiple different things. So we had an instrument cluster problem, we had a steering problem, we had a brake problem. So this here was an issue too, the electronic power steering. It takes all the wheel speed sensors and basically just relays that information to multiple units. So with that being said, with no faults, let's turn the car on. So that's because I don't have my seatbelt on, but after I put my seatbelt in, and pull the handbrake down. Look at that. No codes. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna bring the little computer thing with me, so if I have any problems, I can take a look at what they are. But let's go take this thing for a rip. So traction control is off. We're in second gear. No lights so far. Let's give her a little bit. That's not even going full throttle. So again, I'm still in the braking process. I've got another not even 100 kilometers to go, but she works pretty good. Oh, this is awesome. I haven't ever had no lights on this car since owning it, so it's a good time. Let's see how long this lasts. This is also on the low boost setting. So with my tuner, I can actually bump up the boost. Right now it's at 1.3 bars. I can bump it up to 1.45 and 1.55. So once I put down that last 90 kilometers or so for the braking, we can turn up the boost. This is amazing. Guys, it has been a stupid long time since this thing has actually been driving properly. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience from you guys on your end. I appreciate it, but it's finally there. That's spinning slicks. Okay, so we just beat on the car for a little bit. The only light that we have is traction control. Nothing else has come up. Guys, this is a good time. Okay guys, so we're home. Mini's in one piece, no lights at all. I'm so excited. Now, I do have one other issue though. So now that I'm going into boost, the rear end is squatting and it's actually giving me a little problem where the fender, even after I chopped it, is coming in contact with the tire. So I'll probably have to raise it, but what I think I'm gonna do just for the meantime is put the narrow body setup back on the Mini. And then once I'm done that, I'll raise the car, put the wide body stuff on, put the wide body fenders on the car, and then I'll be able to beat on this thing and head to the track. But guys, it's there. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. This one's for you. I want to take this thing to the track sometime soon to actually see what it can do. I'm also gonna be putting it on a dyno. I know I've gotten a lot of guys asking me about that, but she's together, she works. The small issues are now pretty much solved. There's nothing mechanical now that needs to be fixed inside the engine, on the brakes, on whatever. I'm gonna put the other wheels and tires on and we'll call it a day. Anyways guys, if you have any further questions, comment section's down there. You know what to do. Thanks for watching guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.